Hi guys, so this is just going to be a quick video to talk about some of the pros and cons to whether or not you should sell on Amazon in Europe or Amazon in the USA. Now, this might be relevant if you live perhaps in the USA and you're considering selling on Amazon Europe and vice versa as well. So I'm just going to talk a bit about the pros and cons as somebody who has done both and has seen both sides. So some of the pros of selling in Europe is that you can turn around your stock a lot faster. And by that, what I mean is that you can buy your stock and you can sell it a lot faster. Stock moves around a lot quicker, obviously due to the smaller land size that we have, especially in the UK. And also it's very quick to get registered and not much paperwork when you're dealing with Amazon in Europe. It's a smooth registration process. You don't need a lot of documentation. And also there's good levels of demand, certainly not as much as in the US, but you do find that, throughout Amazon in Europe, whether that's France, Germany, England, there's a good amount of demand from customers. Some of the pros of selling in the USA is that there's just a crazy, high level of demand. There's over 200 million Prime customers based in the US who are buying, consistently through Amazon USA. And also, if you're dealing with arbitrage, and by that, what I mean is you're buying from other retailers to sell on Amazon. There's just so many smaller niche retailers online to choose from in the US, just meaning that you've got a lot more choice, a lot more places to source products from. And then also more niches, especially when you're dealing with sort of hobbies, leisure items. In the US, there's just far more niches in terms of, different products that you can buy and different niches that you can get into. So I just wanted to give a quick example of this. So as you can see here, I've found the same product on both the Amazon USA and Amazon UK platforms, just some Bose headphones. And I've just circled in red. What you can basically see is that in the US, it's showing this is just a very basic sort of data, but it's showing that, over 4,000 people bought last month. Versus 200 plus in the UK. So that just goes to show like the size and difference of, the markets. There's far more sales per day for the exact same product in the US. But also talking about some of the downsides. So with Europe, one thing that I've certainly noticed is that you get a lot more competition from Chinese sellers. Chinese sellers import a lot of products to Europe and they tend to drive the price down. So that's something to bear in mind. And also in terms of products that do extremely well, there's definitely a smaller selection here in Europe. I'm not quite sure why that is, but that's just something to bear in mind. And then also I feel like customers are not as reliant on Amazon as they are in the US. So there's, lots of different ways that people shop around. And then less likely to use Amazon daily for all types of purchases, such as food, groceries, clothing, etc. And then some of the cons of selling in the USA is certainly when you're dealing with arbitrage, reselling popular brands or wholesale, is you get a lot more legal threats from brands, from different companies, if they believe that you're infringing on their IP, even if you've just listed a small amount of products, they might send like a cease and desist letter. So you need to be far more legally clued up in the USA compared to Europe. And then because of the size of the US market as well, logistics take a lot longer. So that's buying products, shipping them to your own prep center, and then onwards from that, shipping them to the Amazon FBA warehouse. That does take a lot longer than in Europe. And then as a byproduct of that, it means that you need far more money to start, right? Because it takes longer to turn around your cash, just because of how long it takes for your cash to come back as the products move through the system. So yeah, as always, if you do want to speak to us about a consultation, whether that's someone who wants to sell in Europe or sell in the US, we've got a lot of experience in both. Feel free to DM us on Instagram at Shipment One, and we'll be happy to help you out. Take care.